Hey guys, welcome to the 174th C# tutorial that I'm making for the new Boston. And in this tutorial we're going to continue working on our address book project, and basically what we're going to be doing is writing all the people to an XML file. So the first thing that we're going to want to do here is actually edit the code that we use to create our XML file initially, because in here we just basically create an empty XML file, and we can't do that because we need to have a root element. So we're actually going to need to write a new XML file using an XML text writer to create that root element. So we're going to say XML text writer XW equals a new XML text writer. And in here we're going to have to specify the path to the file that we're going to be creating. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this path that we already created up there. And then we're going to need to specify the encoding. And we're going to be using UTF-8 encoding. It's basically just a type of format for your text, or the way it's stored kind of. Alright, and the next thing that we have to do is create a start element or a root element. So we're just going to say xw.writeStartElement, and I'm just going to call it people, because after all we're just going to be storing a bunch of people inside of our XML file right here. And then we're just going to write the end element to write that /people at the bottom. So we're going to say right here xw for our XML text writer, and then we're just going to say write end element. So write end element. Alright, and then we're just going to want to close this so that we can reopen it with a different stream. So it's going to say close right here. Alright, so now that we have that all taken care of, we can actually begin writing the people to our XML file. And we're just going to want to scroll down here to the form closing event. And we're just going to basically want to loop through all the people inside of this people list right here, inside of this person list, and write them to our XML file. But before we can do that, we're basically going to want to clear all the existing people out of there so that we don't have duplicates. So we're just going to want to select the person, or the people element, or the people node, and just delete all the persons from there. So we're going to say XML node x node equals xdoc dot select single node, and we're just going to want to select basically all the nodes inside of this people node. So we're just going to want to say select this people node, and then we're just going to want to delete all the person nodes inside of this people node. So we're just going to say x node dot remove all, and this will just remove all the children nodes from this people node. So if there are like a bunch of people we have already installed inside of this people node, it'll just clear them all out, and then we can write the existing ones, or write the ones that the user hasn't deleted yet, or that the user wants to store. So now we're just going to loop through all of those people. So we're going to say for each person P in that list, so inside of that people list, then we're basically just want to create a new node for them, and then add them to this document. So we're going to say XML node x top equals xdoc dot create element, and we're just going to call this person. And then inside of this person node, we're going to have all the properties inside of this person class, so their name, their email, their street address, etc. So now we're just going to want to create a new node for all of those. So we're just going to say XML node xname equals xdoc dot create element, and then their name, so name. And I actually have all of this already copied or already written out, so you don't have to watch me go ahead and write all of it. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this over here. But basically we're just going to be creating a node for every property inside of this person class. Alright, and now it's time to fill these nodes up with the text, so the information that we want to store. So we're going to say xname.innerText equals, and then that person's name. So we're just going to say p.name. And then we're going to want to do the same for all of the other properties, and I already have that written out as well, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy all of this right here. Alright, so now we set the email, the address, the notes, and for the birthday we do something special. We convert it into file time, which is basically numbers or a long, and then we're going to want to convert that into a string, and then we'll read that back later on in the next tutorial. Alright, and finally we want to add all of these to this top node, to this person node, so that they're all stored inside of one person. And then we're going to want to add that person node to the actual document inside of this people node right here. So we are going to say xtop dot append child. So basically just add a new node to this xtop node. So we're going to be adding the name first, so xname, and then we're just going to want to do that for all these other ones, all these other properties right here. So for their email, their address, the notes, and their birthday. And I already have that all written out as well, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy that and paste it right here. So now we're just adding the name, the email, the address, the notes, and the birthday all to this person node. And then we're going to want to add that person node to this people node, to the actual document itself. So we're just going to say xdoc dot document element dot append child, and then we're just going to want to add that person node to the entire document itself. So we're just going to say xtop. Alright, and now that we have all this set up inside of our for each loop, once it's done going through every person, we want it to actually save the XML document. So we're just going to say xdoc.save, and then we're just going to have to provide the path to that document that we want to save. So we can just go ahead and copy this path that we already created up here. Alright, so now let's just go ahead and test it out. Now if we put a name in here, Adam, something, something, additional notes, whatever, add the contact, add another person, add the contact, and now when we close out, it should have saved that and added it to the XML document. So if we go in here, open it up, we see that we have Adam and that other person in there. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial, so see you guys.